These are 10 updates that BloxOut should add next, starting with adding /start to game modes like Skywars and Bed Wars. So recently, in Blox, whenever you play Bed Wars or Skywars, especially when the game is almost full, but hasn't hit that capacity. And when that happens, players have to wait for the entire minute just for the game to simply start. But with the command, /start, if half the players in the game does a command, then the wait will be automatically set to 20 seconds. And this could save a lot of time for all of the Bed Wars and Skywars players. But the next update that BloxOut should add next is adding more harder hostile mobs to Blox. If you had recently noticed the cave golems being added to Blox, they're pretty easy to beat, and they barely do any damage if you just have diamond armor. So if Blox had way more harder hostile mobs, like the Warden in Minecraft, which can do half the player's HP in a blast, then Blox Survival would have some actual challenges instead of it being too easy. But that's just 2 of the 10 updates that BloxOut should add next. But before we cover more of the updates that BloxOut should add, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 12,500 subscribers, and if we hit there, then I'll release a banner montage in the YT King Dream 12.5k texture pack. But have you played any BloxOut parkour game modes like Evil Tower or Blox Hop before? Well, if you have played those game modes, it's pretty easy and almost anyone can beat it. But the next update that Blox should add is harder parkour game modes. By making the parkour harder, especially in Evil Tower, it can make it more fun. And to show some harder examples of Evil Tower, you can check out this road, Tower Blox. And in that road, it's much harder than Evil Tower. And the higher you get, the more likely you are to fall to the bottom. And since Evil Tower and Blox Hop were the first few game modes added to Blox, it's pretty outdated and it's become pretty easy as players adopted to the game. So this can make those game modes more fun for the experienced players, and can bring the intensive feelings of the parkours back like Evil Tower back in 2021. This next update that BloxOut should add is one of the most wanted and most important ones by far, which is having Blox improving its anti-cheat, and having less lag in the game. If you had played Blox recently, you might have had trouble joining worlds, or whenever you PvP someone, the player will just freeze and teleport around like an Enderman, or the player will just not take full knockback. Those are some of the issues from lag, and as time goes on, it becomes more and more notable. And if you had noticed back in around 2023, whenever you PvP'd someone, there was not much laggy players, and ping for almost all players were pretty stable. But now, it's a critical issue, and not just that. If you've played Blox in the past few weeks, you might notice there are more and more hackers recently, like some that have auto-clicker, or kill aura, or aimbot, breach, or literal flying hackers. And the main issue is, as the anti-cheat is left unupdated for long periods of time, it can become outdated and practically useless. And let's say auto-clicking. Someone can't just easily set auto-click at a lower CPS, and as long as it's below the anti-cheat detection, numbers like 35, then the anti-cheat practically would do nothing. And if the anti-cheat with the lag issues were fixed, then it would improve the player experience overall, especially in PvP. But next, if you had played Minecraft before, you might have used a shield before. And the next update that BloxOut should add to the game is shields. With shields, a player can block an attack, explosion, or projectile, and it can be stunned for 4 seconds with an axe. But like Minecraft, all the tools have durability. So, shields should have a limited amount of durability, like a range from 50 to 250, before it breaks. And in Minecraft, the PvP is way slower, so this makes it a great add-on to Blox if there is a combat update. And the player should be slowed down when they're holding the shield. So, with shields added to Blox, PvP can change in many ways, and can make survival more interesting. Next, BloxOut should add back the game modes, Pit and Battle Arena. Pit was added around July 2023, and it was one of the best game modes in Blox, with buying gear for coins where it could kill players to earn it. And it was also one of the most intense game modes at the time. And for Battle Arena, it was added in October 2024, where it was slightly worse than Pit, but you can go against another team of 2 in PvP, where you have 3 lives, and for every round, you get to upgrade your own kit. And if these 2 game modes were added back to Blox, many players would play it, because when it was added, it was the most popular game modes at the time, and was liked by many players. But the next feature is for players with a YouTuber role. There should be a command or setting like /disguise, where the YouTuber can be disguised for up to 24 hours on a random name account. And in game modes like Pirates and Skywars, their stats can be the same as their main account, and this can massively help combat targeting on blocks, and is a great addition to the game. But next, if you have played Minecraft Survival before, you should have noticed that there is a day and night cycle, and if the day and night cycle was added to blocks, then at night, there can be hostile mobs that spawn on the surface, where they try to kill the player. And like the second update, suggestion, it should be somewhat challenging mobs that can deal massive damage to the player. And with the day and night cycle, block skies can be massively improved, and many small mechanics can be added with this update. But like the day and night cycle, the next update that Block Style should add is weather. Currently, there's only one type of weather, which is fog, and fog doesn't do much to the player. But if blocks added other weathers, like for snow biomes, snow, and other biomes, rain, or for the desert, something like a sandstorm, it can add creativity to the biomes, and can make survival more enjoyable for players. But the last update that Block Style should add to the game is shaders. Like Minecraft, there are shaders, which can make the game look more realistic with lighting, shadows, and many other features, and this can cause lag to the device. And if Blocks adds shaders to the game, it can be a default setting for players with a super rank. And with shaders in the game, players who can handle the lag from shaders can use it to make more cinematic videos on blocks. And after showing you 10 updates that Block Style should add to the game, I hope you enjoyed this video. It took a ton of time to make, and I would highly appreciate it if you would subscribe. We're trying to hit 12,500 subscribers, and if we hit there, then I'll release a banner montage in the White Taking Dream 12.5k texture pack. And you can also check out the shorts I post weekly on Saturdays, 6:30 AM Pacific or 9:30 AM Eastern. Plus, shoutouts to the channel members, but I'll see you next week.